What we're coaching to in this session are some thoughts, some strategies, some ideas using the MST system, mindset, strategy, and technique, on how to make this whole process of selling what it is that you offer a whole heck of a lot easier. What we're going to be talking about is getting them to tell you all the reasons why they should buy. Now, before we do that, let's get on the same page. When we think about our profession of selling, there's really kind of a dark cloud that hangs over what we do, isn't there? Now, through no fault of our own. It's just when someone can kind of sense that they're talking to a salesperson, or even worse, if someone gets the sense that they're being sold something, those defensive walls go up, don't they? And that's really not fair for people like you and I that aren't just this pushy, self-centered salesperson out there just for our own best interest, selling a crappy product or service. But we have to acknowledge it. And let's spend just a couple of minutes talking about, where does that come from? Where do these defensive walls come from? Even if they like us, how does that happen? Well, let's talk about the idea of, if we say it, it could be BS, right? If they say it, it's true. But if we say it, it could be BS. They take it with a grain of salt. And here's why. When we're talking about all the great things that we do, all the great stuff that we're going to be able to do for them, here's what they know. They know that it's our job, right? It's part of what we do to present our product, our service in the best possible light. Not only that, here's what else they know. That we're full of reasons on why they should buy what we're selling. They know that we read sales books, that we listen to sessions just like this, that we're trained to come up with all the features and benefits of what it is that we offer. They know it's our job to get them to buy. And they know that what we really, really want, outside of everything else, what we really want is for them to say yes. When we take all these factors into consideration, it's no wonder why selling can feel uncomfortable. I don't know about you, but there have been times in my career when I knew it was time to make the offer, but I built up such rapport with them, I didn't want to be slotted into that stereotypical image of a salesperson. And I'd never asked them if they wanted to buy. Can you relate to that? It puts us in this catch-22 in that we have to ask them, hey, do you want to buy this? But then on the other side, we're fighting this uphill battle because we don't want to be just like every other salesperson. Not only that, when we're telling them all the reasons why they need what we sell, here's an idea to think about. Everyone's the exception. Nobody's the rule. And when we tell somebody, here's why you want this, here's why you should do this, traditional sales, it's push, 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 push. And when we tell somebody why they should want something, here's what happens. They immediately start searching for reasons that prove how what we just said doesn't apply to them. Now, I'll give you kind of a silly example. For longer than I'd like to admit, unfortunately, I'm a smoker. And I like George Burns. He says, quitting smoking is not difficult. I do it every day. But if we were out someplace and you saw me light a cigarette and you said, Bob, don't you know that cigarettes are bad for you? I'd say, yeah, I do. Don't you know that people die of cancer? I'd say, yeah, I do. But here's where it is, right? This is an example of how people start searching for reasons for why what you say doesn't apply to them. In my head, when you just said, Bob, don't you know that cigarettes cause cancer? I'd say, yeah. But in my head, I say, no one in my family's ever died of cancer. Huh. So what I'm doing, don't send me emails on this. I know that's crazy. This is just an example. In my head, I've said, wow, that's true. Cigarettes do cause cancer, but no one in my family has ever died of cancer. Now, if you followed that up with just a couple more questions and you said, Bob, how many people in your family smoked? Well, none. And I'm bringing up this silly example for one major reason. the reasons that we come up with to justify how what you're saying doesn't apply to us or our situation, they don't even have to make sense. But here's something else. If while you're telling them all the reasons why they need what you sell, and they're thinking of all the reasons of why what you just said doesn't apply to them, what are they doing? Well, the big one is they're not listening to you. So how do we get past this? How do we get past this model, this image, this stereotype of this buyer-seller relationship? How do we tear down some of these walls to make it easy for the people that are a really good fit prospect, the people that need what it is that we sell? How do we make it easy for them to get out of their own way, be open to hearing about what it is that we offer, and start telling us all the reasons why they should buy it instead of the other way around?